Meantime, protesters are packing Cairo's main square for a 15th straight day. And now we're starting to learn more about the people behind the protests, including an Egyptian billionaire who's been lending his support. Joining us right now from Cairo with the very latest is Leland Vittert. Hello, Leland.
Good morning, Steve. Naguib Sawiris is the richest guy in Egypt. He's the only big businessman supporting the protesters. Just got done interviewing a couple of hours ago. He has put his newspaper and his television station behind these protesters, but he has a big warning for us. Even though he's lost billions in this whole protest because of the economic downturn, he says there's no price for freedom. But as one of the biggest protests gets started here on day 15 inside Tahrir Square, the protesters are saying they're not going to leave the square until President Mubarak leaves office. Mr. Sawiris says that's the wrong way to look at it. If that happens, we have chaos. If Mubarak leaves, that's when the Muslim Brotherhood could take this thing over.
So there is a real danger that they would hijack these. You see, what is the problem about these people? They will say, okay, we want a democracy, fine. You get elected in a democracy, and then you get the Iranian version of the democracy, where they shoot their own people and deprive them from electing and so on.
Now, of course, what he wants is that President Mubarak to stay on for a few more months through the end of his term. Mubarak is now meeting with a new cabinet and trying to make some democratic reforms. He says those are the democratic reforms we need. Come September, we have the presidential and parliamentary elections. That's what he wants, is a real democracy. And Steve, I asked him, okay, what do you think the United States should be doing? Because obviously President Obama has got a lot of criticism about his handling of this crisis. And he said, you know what? The United States should just stay out of it. He says if a politician can't say something firm, he says don't say all this wishy-washy stuff. Just stay out of it and let this be about Egypt. He called it their Berlin Wall. He said this is the time for Egypt to have a real democracy. And he's certainly put his own neck on the line to support it. Steve?
All right, Leland Vittert reporting.